Okay, let me start from the beginning again. Welcome back to T2SMC Trader. How are you all? Sorry, I forgot to unmute the stream. How are you all? How are you doing today? I'm cool, SK. I'm very cool. As I started a little early today, the reason is I have to talk about the London session and yesterday's PM session. Then I will go for today's price action. But before that, I really need to explain them. That's why I just came a little earlier today. Now you can hear me? Hey man, I'm fine. I'm really thanks for asking, man. Hey Tamimi, we can hear you now. Oh, okay. Then that's cool. Let's go. SK. Thank you, man. Hey, Hali, for that penguin. Thanks. Thank you so much, brother. All clear, brother. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Let's come to the PM session first. Yesterday's PM session. I'm just would love to talk about here around that area. Okay. So my stream actually unfortunately closed around that area. I wasn't. I mean, able to write down boom around that area, but that was the area where I was expecting that market will reach just below that fair value gap. That was my unfilled fair value gap. I talked about this fair value gap and I told that if it is closed, fully closed, then I will start to look for the breaker block. Okay. So that was my intention to see can it close this unfilled fair value gap or not. That's why I put my target just below that unfilled fair value gap. And I took the partial to the top of this unfilled fair value gap. Give me the partial and then hit the target. Okay. Then market went higher, went little lower, went higher again. Here, I would love to look for low, high, lower, low. And as you can see, after filled the unfilled fair value gap, market never made the lower low. So when it didn't make the lower low, I have to find the previous, breaker. So as you can see, low, high, lower low. That was my breaker block. This is the specific candle which has made this breaker block valid. Then market came back again to this breaker block. How far market can reach below this breaker block? That means the mohawk, how can it reach until the inversion fair value gap? So there is my inversion fair value gap. It reached until this inversion fair value gap. Then it has taken that liquidity. I need why I'm talking about this. I'll just talk about this now. Why I'm talking about this entry. When market came here and made this breaker block, before giving the entry opportunity around that area, market keep going higher, right? There was no entry opportunity. I was looking, I have to look for did market take the liquidity or is it going to make another liquidity or is it going to leave the previous liquidity? I really don't know. Do I have any other liquidity before here or not? Because the price action is not good because of the contract change. So I can see this is the liquidity that has market made after that run before giving me the entry opportunity over here to the breaker block. So when it come back again to this breaker block to that specific candle, I would love to push my button over there and my target is going to be that buy side liquidity. At the same time, see this last parabolic gap, I would love to take the partial around that area. This candle high, that candle low. This is the last parabolic gap. So that should be the partial. I know it's a very small trade. I guess if you take the entry over here and cover the inversion parabolic gap until that area, and target should be here around this buy side liquidity, maybe one tick below that buy side liquidity, and your partial should be there around that area. 28 handle should be the partial, and here you should put your target. So that was the entry around the PM session, and obviously it is not the PM session. Actually, it is inside the AM session. And to be honest, if you ask me, are you willing to take that buy? No, I'm not willing to take that buy because it is after 11:30. I don't really like to trade after 11:30. So this is that 11:30 candle around that area. This is the 11:30 candle. After that, I really I don't want to push my button. So that entry I wouldn't take that on as it was very near to the the what to say kind of lunch hour. Then market went higher, then it fall. When it fall, take that liquidity. I will start to look for buy again because so far until that area, the trend was confirmed that it is a bullish trend. Okay, so when it was falling around that area, I would look for buy. If that would be happen inside the session, not sorry, not inside the session. Let me explain this thing first. When market was falling here, take the liquidity around that area, then give me the market structure shift. See here, I got the market structure shift. I'd love to push my button over there to that specific candle. We'll put my stop loss below here, and maybe I'll use the standard deviation or something like that to that buy. Why? Because trend is my friend. Every time market will take the liquidity, I'll look for the market structure shift, fair value gap, boom. That was another buying opportunity inside the PM session. My PM session start around 10 PM. Okay, 100 PM. That means 1300. That is my PM session start. So that was my buying opportunity around that area. Then market fall again. When it is falling, I'm not interested to look for any kind of sell. The reason is I'm bullish today and my buy side liquidity was here. That was my target. When it fall, I'm not interested to look for sell again. I would love to look for a market structure shift toward the upper side. Okay, like the same thing here. I would love to look for the same thing around that area, but market didn't do that. Instead, market was keep falling, keep falling, keep falling, and it came until, I mean, it all just keep falling. So whole PM session after that entry, after this entry, the whole PM session, I don't see any trade. If you say you have managed some kind of entry sell entry around that area, I'm not interested to talk about this because you are gambling. You didn't know what you were doing. That's why you are just pushing the sell button. By the way, otherwise, if you any of you can take that sell, congratulations. I'm not interested to talk about this sell. So for me, that was a buying opportunity which I wouldn't participate because of the lunch hour. Then I would go for this entry, especially this entry to that specific candle. I would be in the market. Let me actually show this one and let me tell you the truth. Okay, so there is nothing wrong or no shame, no shame to say the truth. So there would be my entry. My stop loss would be just below that candle. The candle has made this parallel gap. See this parallel gap? That would be my stop loss. Maybe my target would be something standard deviation or something like that. I would get stopped out over there. When I would get stopped out over there, this was the parallel gap. That was my entry point actually. So here, next time market closed above this parallel gap. Okay, above this parallel gap. Next time market will close above here. See this candle closed around that area. That would be my re-entry over there. Just closed there. Next candle, I would be in the market. My stop loss would be the same area just below that parallel gap which has made this parallel gap, and target would be something like that, wherever the perfect area to put the put the stop loss. If you ask me where it should put the stop loss, you should put the stop loss below the swing low, as you don't have the breakaway gap, you just have the one gap over there. So you can simply put your stop loss below the area. See this swing low, below that swing low. There is nothing wrong with that as well. I'm not interested to put it over there. Instead I will get stopped out over here around that area. So just below this candle which has made this parallel gap, I'll get stopped out over here. So I'll take a 13 handle loss for some kind of, maybe let me actually check or how much was the what to say, the standard deviation. Okay, so high, low, higher, high. Okay, low, high, low, I don't know where I should use the standard deviation. I should start there to there. It's not the right one, right? Low, high, lower, low. Okay, yeah, I have to use this one. That is the area for standard deviation. Let me check standard deviation. Minus 1.5 is very near, so I would love to go weak to weak, and I'll go for minus 2 standard deviation. So that is minus 2 standard deviation, and as you can see, it didn't hit the minus 2 standard deviation just for a little, just for one handle or two handles, something like that, or tick, something like that. It didn't reach until that area. Maybe I didn't mark it perfectly. Let me check. Yep, it is cool. Yeah, it didn't hit the target profit either. Otherwise, maybe I would take some kind of partial and then I would get stopped out. Maybe after trailing my stop loss, I would get stopped out over here. So that was my PM session entry. Then whole fall, I'll let him go. I'm not interested to participate in any kind of fall over there. So that was my intention. That was my thinking about the yesterday's PM session. Let me just explain the price action, then I'll read your comment. Okay, so that was the PM session. Now let me talk about the today's London session. So over here, this is the 15-minute chart, and as you can see, this is the candle around that area. See here, the 1 AM candle. So this is that 1 AM candle. When this candle appeared on the chart, I would start to look for relatively equal highs or relatively equal lows. Now as you can see, this low and that low, they are relatively equal lows. So let me mark this relatively equal lows over here. That was the relatively equal lows around that area. Now did it trade any kind of higher time frame period? Yeah, it has traded this order block around this area. This is the order block from 15-minute chart. this is the order block, or if you would love to mark this parabolic gap, both of them are valid because this parabolic gap didn't closed by body. So when it didn't close by body, this parabolic gap is also valid. Either way, it has traded the order block, so I don't need to mark the parabolic gap. I can simply see that there is the order block. It made this relatively equal loss around that area. It has made this relatively equal loss. Is it inside the session? Yeah, it is inside the session. So what I will look for, I will only look for buy. You can say this low and that low, they are not relatively equal lows, but this is relatively equal lows, this low and that low. Okay, when this is relatively equal lows, has traded some kind of high time frame PDRA, I'll start to look for buy. Only buy is valid for me. So as you can see around that area, this is the only swing high which is valid for shifting market structure. So I would love to mark this swing high which is valid for shifting market structure. After the market structure shift, I would love to mark 3 candle to look for buy. Where is my parallel gap? I have the parallel gap over here around that area. This is the parallel gap. Here I have the volume imbalance. Now I really don't know how to use the volume imbalance as I didn't study this. To be honest, I really don't know how to take the entry from the volume balance. ICT is the best for doing that, so you can watch his video if you are interested about the volume balance. I just don't know how to use this one because most of the time it doesn't work for me. I don't use this thing. Market fall to this parabolic, but it takes too long. 1, 2, 3, 4. It takes 4 candle to reach to this parabolic gap. Now if you ask me, is this a perfect decision to take that entry, I will say no. But at the same time, just one candle, that means one immediate reaction. Okay, I go for 3 candle. So if this candle could tap to this parabolic gap, that would be my best. If you would love to think that, okay, I would love to push my button one candle, I'm just going to ignore it. If it is a loss, I'm going to take it. Why you are thinking like that way? Because this is the London session. If you just put your stop loss below that, in London session, where I told you to put the stop loss below the candle or below the swing low, because the stop loss is going to be very small stop loss. If you think that 10 handle loss, why you are afraid of that, taking that 10 handle loss? By the way, if someone just subscribe, do you see the notification on the screen? Just let me know that when someone just get the subscription, do you see the notification on the screen or not? I've changed a lot of things in my OBS, so I'm just not sure the notification or the the pop-up, does it show on the screen or not? Just let me know that. Okay, so that should be the stop loss below that low. If you think that one candle, okay, not 2 3 4 5 candle, after 3 candle, this is the 4th candle. Okay, so when the 4th candle tap to this parabolic gap, I would love to take this entry. Just I'm over careful about that 10 handle loss, just 10 handle. If it was inside the New York session, no, I wouldn't go for that, because in New York sessions normally the stop loss is gonna be 15 to 20 handle. So until 10 handle, I really don't see this is even a loss. Okay, 10 handle is nothing, just nothing. So if you think that you would love to push the button over there, there is nothing wrong. If you ask me, no, I wouldn't go for that trade. But this was the only trade I can see. I mean, in the London session, where should you take the partial? You have to take the partial around the 15 handle. Okay, something like here, just 15.75. But you have to take the partial around the 15 handle, tick by tick. You have to take the partial around 15 handle. This is the rules, you can't ignore. Some of you give me the screenshot about the lunch hour, I mean, sorry, the London session, and you have asked me about the Asia session high and low. Now I really get fed up, brother. Okay, every day I'm talking about this London session. I have already uploaded the video how to trade. You Have you ever heard me to talk about the Asian session? Never, right? I never look for the Asian session, nothing. No session liquidity valid for me, and I don't see like that way, that market has taken the Asia session low, so it is going for Asia session high, or maybe market has taken London session low, now it is going for London session high. I don't see like that way market. Now if you would love to use it, there is nothing wrong, but don't just ask me them. It's my request, please. So that would be my partial. Then I would go for the relatively equal highs, and as you can see, I have some relatively equal highs here. Maybe that relatively equal highs would be my target. Around that area, you can just put your target around this relatively equal highs. Okay, so that should be the London session trade. 10 handle loss for, I mean, stop loss for 21 handle, something like that. In my opinion, 15 to 20 handle is the best area for trading the London session. Now if you would love to hold your trade for so long after taking the partial, I have no objection for that. But make sure that you have taken the partial at least in 15 handle. You have to do it, which is undeniable. Okay, you have to do this. Okay, that was the first entry around the London session, and in my opinion, there was no entry. By the way, in London session, I told you something that if market make the sell side liquidity or the buy side liquidity for the first time, and then if market can make the buy, for example, market has made this sell side liquidity first, right? When market has made this sell side liquidity, then it went higher, and if it can make the buy side liquidity, then most of the time market will take this sell side liquidity which has made around the around the beginning of the London session. Most of the time, 90% of the time, market will do that. If market make the buy side liquidity for the first time, and then it make the sell side liquidity, then most of the time, 90% of the time, market will take the buy side liquidity. So that was your sell side liquidity. Then market went higher. When it came here, you can see this high. I'm talking about that high. Okay, this high and that high, they are the same in 15-minute chart. This high and that high, how beautiful that was the buy side liquidity. So it has made this buy side liquidity. Unfortunately, it didn't trade any higher time frame PDRA. You can say that, brother, this is the order block. So market has traded this order block. I would love to look for a sell. If you would love to do that, please do that. I have no objection. But if you ask me, no, I don't see it has traded any kind of higher time frame PDRA. So I'm not interested to take that entry. So it was unlucky that market didn't trade any kind of higher time frame PDRA. Now there can be something, new week opening gap, new day opening gap, there can be. Okay, I don't know because I didn't mark them from my old chart to new chart. If it has traded any new day opening gap or new week opening gap, you're good to go look for sell. But as I didn't mark them, I just can't say that it has traded any higher time frame PDRA. Just mark the old new week opening gap, new day opening gap, whatever it is. If there is anything valid and you see that it has traded that higher time frame PDRA, yeah, you're good to go for the sell. Otherwise, I don't see it has traded any kind of buy side liquidity. I mean, sorry, it has traded any kind of higher time frame PDRA. So what it has done, it has made this buy side liquidity. After making this buy side liquidity, this is a swing low, which is absolutely perfectly valid for shifting market structure. Just I'm telling you, if that was a, if it has traded any kind of high time frame PDR, how was that setup? Okay, what should you look for when it has made this buy side liquidity? Are you thinking that market is going to take that buy side liquidity? Absolutely not. It has traded this buy side, I mean made this buy side liquidity. This is the nice displacement market structure shift. Where is your fair value gap? Now it is a very small fair value gap though. Where was that? I saw that fair value here. It was a very small fair value gap. Okay, to be honest, it was a very small fair value gap, but I'm just talking about the price action here. It has traded this fair value gap. At the same time, it has traded the turtle soup order block, which I don't mark beforehand.